Programming will not be seen at this time due to the following Eyewitness Sports presentation. And now, live from the Huron Arena, here's Mark Ovenden.
Hello, everybody. Mark Ovenden, Wayne Wolf, and Paul Lepisto live here at the Huron Arena for final night action. We will have a state beat champion tonight. Dakota Christian, of course, comes in as the favorite. They have looked awfully impressive the first couple of ball games, Wayne. They take on the underdog Jones County team, but I'll tell you, the Coyotes will not go down without a fight, and that is why they won the first two games when it didn't look good for them.
Both games, it looked like they were the beaten team, but they came out on top when the final score was put on the scoreboard. So Jones County, you can never count them out. And talking to their fans today in the hotel, they know they're in for a real battle. We talked to a lot of parents, but they're very proud of their team, and well, they should be.
Really, they can sit back and relax and have fun. I think the pressure is on Dakota Christian a little bit more tonight. And in the first game, no pressure on either team. Warner against DeSmet, I think they'll both go out and just have a gas. It's the last game for several of the players in this game.
Well, DeSmet, the top-seeded team, the #1 ranked team coming into this tournament. They're playing for third place. You know they'd rather be playing in the second game tonight, but that's the way it ended up for them.
Let's throw it down on the floor to Paul Lepisto and the coaches.
I'm with Marv McEwen, the head coach of the DeSmet Bulldogs. And Coach, obviously your team a little disappointed not advancing to the semifinal round last night, that tough loss in the second semifinal last evening. But how are you approaching this ball game tonight from third place?
Well, the kids seem real loose. We know it's real important to play for third and fourth place in the state tournament. That really means a lot, you know, and we would really like to go out and play as well as we're capable of, and the kids are looking forward to that.
What do you expect out of Warner? What are you looking for
Well,
type of ball game tonight?
We've got to stop Roselle and Brown inside. We think we can stop Roselle, at least so he doesn't get on a streak and win a ball game by himself. He's a heck of a ball player. And we think we can neutralize Brown inside, so we're going to have to play real well.
Final question for you. I know you want to win the ball game. We're going to let the kids go out and have a little bit of fun, too, last game of the year?
We really are. We got our defensive ace, Bill Martins, hasn't scored in double figures all year, and the kids are talking about him, so they're going to try to get him some.
All right, Coach. Good luck. Thanks for coming over. All right. Also with us, Chuck Welke, the head coach of the Warner Monarchs. Coach, now you're in the same situation, losing in the semifinal last night. The game I'm sure you wish you should have won, and a lot of people probably thought you could have won in that game last night with Jones County. First off, how's the team? What's your attitude now?
Oh, I think they're excited about playing. When we came down here, we were just hoping to win a ball game, get to the Final Four, and go from there. So we did that. We're disappointed about last night, but I think their heads are okay.
Your approach now for DeSmet both ways, offensively and defensively.
Well, the DeSmet Bulldogs are an extremely tough team. We, we're facing the #1 seed of the tournament. They were unfortunate last night, but they're big, they're strong, they're quick, and they're good shooters. They're going to cause a lot of troubles for us, so we'll just go out and do the best we can.
All right, Coach, good luck in the ball game tonight. Thanks for coming
All right, thank you very much.
All right, we've heard from both coaches. We're looking for a good third-place ball game. Now let's go back upstairs.
All right, thank you very much, Paul. Coming up, the third-place game between Warner and DeSmet. You're watching the State B on KSFY.
This is the future. The Snapper Lawn Machine. A triumph in engineering, design, and workmanship. We make it tough with our patented steel deck. Easy with instant electronic ignition, and exclusive with Snapper's original high vacuum cut and cleanup system. The Snapper Lawn Machine. Built better to stay ahead of its time.
South Dakota Snapper dealers are proud to bring you the State B basketball tournaments. Check your yellow pages under lawnmowers.
It's easy to not worry about retirement when you're 20, 30, even 40. Your lifestyle seems secure. But maintaining your comfortable lifestyle after you retire requires planning for the future now. That's why Metropolitan offers you the security of an individual retirement account. Your IRA provides tax benefits now and security for your future. Talk to Metropolitan about an IRA today. Metropolitan Federal, your federal savings bank. We'd like to be your banker.
The 22-3 DeSmet Bulldogs against the Warner Monarchs for third place, but now let's send it downstairs to the PA announcer.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Class B Boys State Basketball Championship Games. Tonight we shall crown the 1986 Class B champion. Ask you at this time to please refrain from throwing objects onto the floor at any time. Anyone caught will be removed from the arena and face possible prosecution. The teams that played this afternoon in the first game were from Region 3, the Wildcats of Northwestern High School, and from Region 4, the Cardinals of Del Rapids St. Mary's High School. In the Consolation Championship game were the Pheasants of Parker High School from Region 5 and the Lions of Selby High School from Region 8. In the evening's first game, playing for third and fourth place tonight will be the Monarchs of Warner High School from Region 1 and the Bulldogs of DeSmet High School from Region 2. And in tonight's championship game, we have from Region 7 the Coyotes of Jones County High School and their opponents from Region 6, the Cadets of Dakota Christian High School. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's all stand and sing along with the band of the day from Warner High School as they play our national anthem.
The Warner High School Band, the band of the day on the final day of the State B tournament. We'll take a break and be back with the starting lineups and more. You're watching the State B on KSFY.
Choosing a herbicide used to be a problem. Some products injured crops, and some drifted, and others acted slowly, problem after problem, in spite of so-called improvements. Now there's one herbicide for corn and sorghum that lets you rest easy with your choice. A concentrated herbicide that works better because it's built better. Me4 Brominol. It controls over 60 tough broadleaves, won't vaporize and won't carry over, and it works in days, not weeks. Me4 Brominol, the better choice for corn and sorghum.
Has this ever happened to you?
Dear insured, we're sending the claim forms you must fill out completely before we'll pay your hospital bill.
Isn't there a better kind of health coverage?
There is Dakota Care. With Dakota Care, you never fill out a claim form, not one. Just show your Dakota Care card. Dakota Care, the health care plan of the South Dakota Medical Association.
The Monarchs making their way back onto the floor. DeSmet is already out to take up their final warm-ups. In a situation where it's always hard to, as in any afternoon session game, it's always difficult in the night sessions to figure out how these teams are going to play. And Warner had an opportunity. They were ahead by 10 points last night. Eventually ended up losing the ball game to Jones County, so it's going to be tough to see how they handle it.
I think that the Monarchs have spent a little more emotion than DeSmet has, because the Bulldogs won a relatively easy game in their first round against Parker, and last night, well, that game last night was a battle. But as you say, Warner was involved in the one game that came right down to the end, that they had to sit there and keep their fingers crossed to win against Selby. And then last night, the frustrating way to lose, up by 9 points at halftime. And they just came, they came apart in the second half. Did not play well at all, did not deserve to win. And it might be a little tougher, I think, for Warner to turn around and play a good game in this one. But again, with the pressure off, you just don't know.
Well, DeSmet again, they were the top-ranked team in the state in the poll. They were also the top seed coming in. Warner really was kind of an unknown commodity. They were unranked. They had, again, been beaten in their district. So there's a situation there where Warner, I think, at one point probably wasn't even expecting to be here themselves. But they are here, and they have a chance to win third place, and that certainly would be cap off a very fine season for the Monarchs.
Yeah, a team that won 5th place. Pretty interesting story there. Parker came back after losing their first game, did not play well at all against DeSmet, but the Pheasants came back to win 2 ball games. That is the 7th time that Gail Hoover has been to the state tournament. All 7 times his team has won 2 out of 3 games. That is an almost unbelievable feat. As you take a look at Dakota Christian up in the stands, the cadets getting ready for the championship game. They'll enjoy about a half of this one, go down to the locker room and go from there.
Speaking of Gail Hoover, I think when we watched the first-round game to Smith and Parker really struggled, and I'm not so sure that a lot of people gave Parker a chance to come back and win the consolation honors, and it's a real compliment to Coach Hoover and his Pheasants to be able to rebound after really a sluggish effort Thursday night. Teams are being called over to their benches. We're getting ready for the starting lineups. Once again, let's send it down to the PA announcer and Mr. Jeff Duffy.
Welcome to the Huron Arena in the 1986 Class B basketball tournament. Tonight, our third place game will have the Warner Monarchs and the DeSmet Bulldogs. First, the starting lineup for Warner. Starting at one guard, a 6-foot senior, number 24, John Holler. Starting at the other guard, a 6'2 senior, number 32, Mark Roselle. Starting at one forward, number 34, a 6'1 senior, Brad Meehan. Starting at the other forward, a 6'4 senior, number 40, Lloyd Comer. And starting at center, a 6'5 senior, number 44, John Braun. The Monarchs are coached by Chuck Welke and assisted by Rocky Almond. Now the starting lineup for the DeSmet Bulldogs. Starting at one guard, a 5'9 junior, number 11, Doug Ostis. Starting at the other guard, a 6-foot senior, number 33, Bill Martin. Starting at one forward, a 6'2 junior, number 15, Jeff Gruenhagen. Starting at the other forward, a 6'1 junior, number 31, Rob Schmidt. And starting at center, a 6'5 junior, number 23, Jeff Stoll. DeSmet is coached by Marv McCune and assisted by Pat Wheeler. Officials for tonight's third place game, Rick Dorr of Watertown, Jim Morrison of Rapid City.
I really think they should start a group.
That's right.
I gave Rick Dorr such a hard time about this last night before we even knew they'd be together. Of course, Jim Morrison and the Doors.
And they don't sing. I don't think they do. Last
Come on,
night,
baby, light my fire.
DeSmet looks awfully tight. When they came out for those starting lineups, you can tell that this game is chewing them up inside. Warner going with a different lineup tonight. Lloyd Comer is getting the start in the front court. He is a senior, and Billy Lieberman will be coming off the bench tonight for the Monarchs.
Officially, they move Roselle into the back court, but he plays there anyway. He plays everywhere.
Gruenhagen gets the tap. This is Doug Ostis. Free throw line. Jump shot off the front of the rim. No good. But the Bulldogs are there for the rebound. Slapped away by Roselle. The Monarchs bring it the other way. Wade Roselle has 39 points in the tournament. In the lane. Hangs in the air. Can't get it to go. Braun there with the rebound. Follow-up is good. John Braun gets the Monarchs on the board. It's 2-0. 7.5 minutes left to go. First quarter. Doug Ostis, Gruenhagen. This is Rob Schmidt. Back to Gruenhagen. The left-hander's shot is no good, and the rebound pulled down inside. Taken there by Brad Meehan. Roselle along the baseline is cut off. Contact, no whistle. He'll put up the shot. It's too short.
And Braun over the back, I believe.
Braun will be called for climbing over the top.
And a reminder, as we watch, this tournament is being conducted under the auspices of the South Dakota High School Activities Association.
Really, you look down the DeSmet roster, a team that was ranked number one a large part of this season, and they've got mostly juniors in that starting lineup.
4 out of 5 juniors start, and their first reserve is a sophomore.
Jeff Gruenhagen, top of the circle with the basketball. Bill Martins. They want Martins to get into double figures, according to Marv McCune. Gruenhagen's shot is way short, and Meehan's there with the rebound. Brad pulls up the dribble, gets it off John Holler. This is Meehan, looks inside. Finds Braun, pump fake, and he's going to be called for the traveling, and he has been whistled on that numerous times throughout this tournament. There's a timeout on the floor. 6:41 left to go first quarter. Warner leads it 2-0.
This is East River's Operations Center, the computer control hub of today's rural electric cooperatives. 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, a skilled cooperative employee is here, watching, waiting, to direct power where it's needed, or to activate load management systems that will save rural electric consumers over $2.5 million this year alone. Your rural electric cooperative, working smarter. Isn't that what you expect?
We're tagging all our Oldsmobiles with total value this month. That means 9.9% interest on our complete Olds lineup. Front-wheel drive Sierras at 9.9 plus billion discounts for as low as $11,495. Popular Olds Cutlass Supremes are only $11,395. Front-wheel drive family size 88s are tagged at just $13,695. And Olds Calais are now only $10,199. Pick your tag for total value this month at Billion Olds Toyota GMC.
There's the Jones County section as they get ready for the championship game. Meanwhile, as you said, the Bulldogs at DeSmet appear to be very loose for this one. They're down early, 2-0.
Doug Ostis on the dribble. Again, Bill Martins, the defensive specialist, Marv McCune called him in the pregame show. They'd like to get him into double figures for the first time this season. Fall-away jump shot is off the rim by Rob Schmidt, no good. And the Monarchs come this way. John Holler with the basketball. John in the tournament has scored 8 points in the 2 ball games. Roselle spins at the free throw line, drives, can't get the shovel shot to go. Comer with the rebound. It's stolen away by Jeff Stoll.
Great move by Roselle, just couldn't put it down.
Doug Ostis, the junior guard. Top of the key, Martins. This is Rob Schmidt, drives, and the jump shot rims out. And Lloyd Comer has the rebound. very slow start offensively in games played this afternoon. For 7th place, Northwestern over Del Rapids St. Mary's, 87-70. And consolation honors went to Parker, 48-45 over Selby. And guess what? John Braun again is called with the traveling violation. And I don't know if he was getting away with it all year, but they sure have cracked down on it. That move where he gives a head and shoulders fake here in the state tournament. Doug Ostis to Gruenhagen. Jeff looks inside for Stoll. Instead gets it to Schmidt, who gets it inside to Stoll, and he is hacked across the arm by John Braun, and that is number 2.
2 in a hurry. Back to those scores from this afternoon. I've got a hard time buying the fact that Del Rapids St. Mary's went 0-3. They got a fine team. And again, you just never know how a team will react after they lose that first-round game. They were rated 4th in the state, deservedly so. They beat Elkton. They had a great season going, and really you feel kind of bad that anybody has to go 0-3.
Kind of demoralizing the way they lost that first night, because Dakota Christian absolutely did everything at will that Thursday night game, and that really kept them down. Jeff Stoll gets the first 2 points of the game for DeSmet on an offensive rebound. We're tied at 2 apiece. 5:23 left to go in the first quarter. Coming up right after this one, the championship. Dakota Christian taking on Jones County. Backcourt pressure, and Rick Dorr with the whistle. And we'll have a foul called in the backcourt, and the Monarchs will inbound it.
It was getting pretty close to 10 seconds when they committed the foul, so they almost had the turnover. Good defense there, with the exception of that 9-second hack.
Here's the look from way above as you see the Monarchs inbound the basketball. This is Wade Roselle. Baseline, lob underneath. Braun gets a shot up. It's good. Let's see if it'll count. Yes, it does. The foul will go on Rob Schmidt, and John Braun will pick up the 2 points.
Good move by Braun. He got the bounce pass underneath. Looked like he'd go up on the right side of the hoop. Instead, he snuck over to the left side, drew the foul, and had the easy basket as well.
First foul on Rob Schmidt. 4 points in the game. All 4 of the Warner points have come from the inside from this man, John Braun. His try for the 3-point play is unsuccessful, and the Bulldogs head the other way. Bill Martin's on the dribble. Bounce pass in the corner. Rob Schmidt drives baseline, and let's see, are they going to call a foul? I thought maybe they'd call traveling. I didn't know how much contact down there. It looks like John Holler will pick up the foul, and against John, that'll be his first. Again, all 5 of the white shirts out on the floor of Warner are seniors playing in their final game. Rob Schmidt to Doug Ostis. 4:53 left to go in the first quarter. 4-2 Warner. Ostis to Martin's pass underneath, off the hand of Rob Schmidt and out of bounds, and they may be loose. But
I was just going to make that comment. Maybe they're a little bit too loose. Doesn't look like they're concentrating quite as much as they did last night.
Both teams had very tough semifinal games, and we got another whistle on the pressure defense, and we're going to have a foul called against Del Rapids, or rather DeSmet again, and this goes on Bill Martins.
33, Bill Martin.
We got to get Bill the basketball a little bit more if he's going to get those 10 points. He hasn't taken a shot yet on offense.
He averages 4 per ball game. He hasn't been in double figures all season, and according to the head coach, the Bulldogs would like to do that. Jeff Stoll on the missed shot by John Brown, rifles the outlet pass to Doug Ostis. And he's cut off by John Holler. Man-to-man, rather a 2-1-2 zone being implied right now by the Monarchs. Jump shot by Gruenhagen won't stick. And this is Mark Roselle.
Oh, we've all done it once.
I said it half wrong.
You said it all the way, Wade.
Comer turnaround along the lane, doesn't go for him, and Gruenhagen with the rebound. And then someday when Chris is playing, we'll be calling him Mark.
Well, I think it's a compliment to Mark to be called Wade once in a while. Just not all the time.
Ostis. Jump shot too strong, and the ball is still loose. Martins dumps it off in the corner to Rob Schmidt. He loses it. Ball is free, and Roselle comes up with it. 3.5 left to go. 4-2, Warner on top, and they have the basketball. Roselle outside Holler. John not wearing the knee brace that he wore last night. Roselle along the way. The baseline won't go.
They're struggling for points here in the first quarter. We played almost 5 minutes.
Gruenhagen, it won't go. And there's the rebound taken down by John Holler. Down nearing the 3-minute mark of the first quarter. Lob underneath. Comer has trouble hanging on. Out of bounds. And last touched by either Braun or Comer, and the ball belongs to the Bulldogs.
Surprised that Roselle hasn't been looking to the hoop a little bit more. Timeout on the floor.
3 minutes, 1 second left to go in the first period. 4-2, Warner on top.
When you need emergency medical attention, they are ready to help. They are South Dakota's emergency medical technicians. These dedicated professionals respond 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We salute their vital contributions to South Dakota's emergency health care system. If you are interested in serving your community in a unique way, call your area EMT organization, Sioux Valley Hospital. There when you need us.
Buying a computer for my business was a big step. When you're thinking about taking that big step, step into Computerland.
We've been a customer of Computerland's for about 5 years now. In that time, the people at Computerland have responded quickly to any service needs and have been able to promptly answer any questions about software.
Take the right step into Computerland.
Computerland, the one thing to know about computers.
4-2, Warner on top. John Braun has all 4 of the Warner points, and his father.
Rather famous name in that area. Braun Trucking, the amateur basketball team. They've won it 4 straight years. They'll tie the record when they win it again next year.
You mean if?
No, when.
When. Stoll on a nice turnaround, and he's got all 4 of the DeSmet points. We're tied at 4 apiece as Lieberman, Billy, is checked into the ball game, a 5'6" sophomore guard. Ian Holler are the guards. Pass comes ahead to Meehan, and Brad drives, pulls up. Shot is good. Brad Meehan gets his first 2 points of the game. He's averaging 11.5 per game in the first 2 of the state tournament. 23-25 total now for the tournament. Ostas comes right back, and 2 quick hoops, one by each team. And since the timeout, actually, we've had 3 baskets.
Much better.
Roselle, nice pass, look left, bounced it off right to John Braun, and John's got 6 points. It's 8-6, Warner on top.
One of the many things that Roselle does so well is pass the ball.
Jeff Gruenhagen to Ostis with the basketball. Bill Martins lobs underneath for Stoll. His turnaround is up and off the front of the rim. Gruenhagen's follow won't go, and Roselle gets yet another rebound. He had something like 13 or 14 last night. Meehan back outside to Roselle.
At 13-9 in the first quarter.
Nice pass again along the baseline. John Holler, and Roselle has dished out 2 beautiful assists the last 2 times down the floor. 10-6, the Warner lead grows to 4. A minute and a half left to go first quarter.
He had 11 assists in the region championship game, 29 points, averages 6.
Ostis, it won't go, and the rebound pulled down by John Braun. Here comes John Holler and his Monarchs. Gives it off to Billy Lieberman, and the sophomore will set things up. Billy, again, did not start on this team until the last 2 games of the season, and then was in the starting lineup until last night when a senior got a start for Warner. As Chris Hayes got the start. No good by Meehan, and the rebound pulled down by Gruenhagen. Ahead to Doug Ostis, 50 seconds left to go first quarter, 10-6, the Monarchs on top. Gruenhagen, the left-hander, takes it. It's going to be short. Fight for the rebound, and we're going to have a jump ball, and the possession arrow is pointing towards Warner. And the Monarchs will have the basketball. Checking in for DeSmet is Heath Marshall, 5'11" sophomore. He's averaging 9 points in the state tournament, 7 throughout the season. Marv McCune on the sidelines. The pressure defense being applied by the Bulldogs. Roselle bobbled it, but gets it back, and ahead to John Holler. John in the lane, off the glass, it won't go. Stoll with another rebound, ahead to Jeff Gruenhagen. He spins, dumps it off. Doug Ostis, pump fake, and will bring it back outside. 23 seconds left, first quarter, 10-6 Warner. Marshall back to Ostis, who runs the show for the Bulldogs. Along the baseline, Rob Schmidt is fouled, almost got it to
that
go.
Almost went in. It spun around. Holler picks up personal foul. That's his second and 4 on the team now, as DeSmet will be in a bonus for the rest of the first half. 2 shots coming for Rob Schmidt, who has been well below his season's average here in the tournament with 6 points in each of the first 2 games. He averages 12 points per contest.
Holler fouled out of last night's game, has 2 already tonight. Rob Schmidt gets the first one. First trip to the line for the Bulldogs.
member of the 880 relay team, second in the state in the high jump, football quarterback, straight A student, quite an all-around young man.
10-8. The lead is 2 for Warner, and again a backcourt foul. And either Ostis or Gruenhagen. Jeff will pick it up. That's 2 on Gruenhagen. 4 team fouls against DeSmet, and from here on out, both teams will be in the bonus situation. 9 seconds left. Lieberman with the inbounds pass. 8 seconds, directing traffic. I don't know if he knows how much time's left. 5. Roselle hit one at the end of the third quarter last night, and he doesn't get this one to go.
In and out.
8 minutes under our belts of the third place game. Warner is leading DeSmet 10-8.
When you're young, you only think about your goals, your dreams. But once you have a family, your future doesn't seem nearly as important as theirs. Their dreams become your dreams. You make sacrifices, not minding a bit. And you buy life insurance to make sure their dreams can come true. That's why American Family Insurance says, you don't buy life insurance for you, you buy it for them.
In Pipestone, your American Family Insurance agent is Robert Bunkers. In Worthington, call Bill Ream.
We at Bonanza know there are other dinners you can buy for $5 to $6. In fact, you've won billions of them. But now you can have tender sirloin tips for about the same price with a little something on the side. Our all-you-can-eat, ever-changing Fresh-Tastics food bar. Free. So before you return for another billion, consider the alternative.
Someone will be after tonight. It'll either be Dakota Christian or the Coyotes of Jones County. 10-8 here in the third place game. Warner on top. 6 points for John Braun to lead the Monarchs. 4 for Jeff Stoll. Make it 6 for Jeff Stoll. He got inside and scores, and we're tied at 10 apiece. Pressure again in the backcourt, but Roselle brings it across the timeline. Mark on the dribble. Good pick there by John Braun, and he was run over by Rob Schmidt, and I'm not so sure Rob, even if he wanted to, could deck John Braun that way.
Here's another look. Braun is up. Braun is down, and that is a foul. And it takes a lot to knock that big fella down.
John will step to the free throw line where he hits half of them. He's 0 for 1 from there tonight. He's got 6 points.
Back to the Braun trucking story a little bit. That team has played together for so many years. They tried to assemble some all-star teams to beat them this year, and still they couldn't do it around the state.
A lot of ex-Northern basketball players are on those teams. Ahead to Roselle. Mark, nice fake in the lane. Left-handed, he puts it up and scores. Mark Roselle gets his first 2 points of the game. He's dished out a few assists. He's got a number of rebounds, but the first time he's on the board offensively.
Bulldogs, as we said, a little loose. They're shooting only 19%. That's why they're behind. 36% for Warner, not a whole lot better. Everything else is pretty even here throughout the first quarter.
Blaine Beck, who checked in, is called for the walk, and Blaine is 6'1" junior on the turnover. Warner gets it back, 12-10. The Monarchs on top, 7:06 left. We're in the first quarter. Billy Lieberman being pressured in the backcourt by Doug Ostis. Double teamed as he comes across the timeline, dumps it off to Holler. One-hand pass in the corner intended for Roselle, knocked away by the Bulldogs, and Warner will throw it inbounds.
Barney the Bulldog waiting for something to cheer about down there for DeSmet.
Roselle drives, puts it up. It's going to be short, and there's Beck with the rebound. Ahead to Heath Marshall. Heath on the run, gets it off Blaine Beck. Back to Marshall. From the top of the circle, nothing but net.
Had a good tournament. He's got 20 points so far, all off the pine.
First 2 tonight. He averages 7 on the season. Coming into tonight, he was averaging 9 per state tournament game. We're tied 12 apiece. Roselle along the baseline. It won't go, and Beck there with the rebound. Lead pass to Ostis, but Roselle is back on defense, and Roselle is going to be called for the foul.
Yep. Cut him off at the baseline. Ostis with that quick little move. I think he tried to decoy Roselle by looking across and trying to cut by on the baseline. And Wade gave him no place to go. Mark gave him no place to go. I've got that.
2-1 you lead. Chuck Welke wants a timeout. The Monarchs lead, or rather are tied with DeSmet, 12-12.
This is South Dakota's biggest bubble blower. Every hour, this machine blows thousands of plastic trash bags at American Western Corporation in Sioux Falls. Nearly a decade ago, First Bank forged a partnership with American Western that's held strong through 3 plant expansions, a company acquisition, 3 bond offerings, and sales growth from 8 to 50 million. If your business needs a bank that'll grow with you, come to First Bank. We understand.
Please remain inside your car.
A DWI conviction can take away your license. If you can't afford that, maybe we can help. Call us, Cummings Legal Clinic.
Get the eyewitness advantage right here. At 6, we give you a closer look. At 10, the last word. When news happens that's important to your life and the life of your community, be on the scene, involved and informed. Weeknights, Tom Rooney and Joan Russell bring you the latest news. Mark Robin in the sports, Dave Ingebret's in the weather. Get the eyewitness advantage right here.
That is a basketball.
No.
And of
I
course,
thought it was a football.
It is not a jet. And
that wasn't a basketball.
And the wave ripples through the Huron Arena.
That was an official South Dakota High School Activities Association basketball.
Under the auspices of who?
I don't know, those guys in Pier.
Doug Ostis.
Under the auspices of Ruth Rain.
His free throw won't go. Doug with 2 points on the game. 6 minutes, 8 seconds left to go, first half. And the Monarchs trying to break a 12-12 deadlock. Holler to Roselle. He'll drive, knifes his way through, can't get it, gets his rebound, follows, no, dumps it off to Braun, and he can't get it to go. But Roselle sees the whole floor. He was ready to put that ball off the glass. He saw that Braun was wide open and dumped it off to him.
Great pass by Mark Roselle, but that shot just wouldn't stay down. Nice pass by Ostis.
You bet, and Gruenhagen is fouled as he tried to go inside. Ostis there as well, saw the whole court. And if you've got a point guard that can see the floor and get it to the people that are wide open, you're going to be in pretty good shape.
Douglas averages 7 assists per game throughout the whole year, so that's not too shabby.
He plays the baritone in the band as well. This is Jeff Gruenhagen. His shot is up and good. Gruenhagen has his first point of the night.
Maybe he could hook up with Jim Morrison in the doors.
And the other one rattles around and falls. 2 points for Gruenhagen. Again, the DeSmet defensive pressure. Brad Meehan stops short of the timeline, gets it back to Billy Lieberman. They're going to have to hustle, but Ostis with the steal, takes it in, and blocked, but also fouled from behind by Billy Lieberman.
Well, I think that was one of those fouls where, hey, you're not going to show me up and steal the ball and get an easy layup. At least you're going to do is make 2 free throws.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Doug Ostis is going to have a chance to do, where he connects on 60%. Paul mentioned it the other night, 9 touchdown catches this season for the football team by Doug Ostis.
Well, it was 16 until we looked it up.
Well, Marv McCune said 16.
You know how coaches are. They exaggerate those stats a little bit.
So we asked Doug, and he said, no, Coach, it was only 9. He hits both of them. He's got 4 points. Holler is tripped up in the backcourt, and Blaine Beck will be called for the foul. 16-12, the Bulldogs have built a 4-point lead. That is their biggest of the game.
Well, Barney's had something to bark about here in the second quarter as his team was eyes cold in the first quarter. DeSmet shot only 19% in the first quarter, but now the Bulldogs have come back to take a 4-point lead. They get a 3-point lead.
Haller's free throw is good. John from the line on the season is a 58% shooter. Also a boys stater from Warner. Second one is up and good as well. 4 points for John Holler, and that's what he has averaged in the first 2 games and on the season. Gruenhagen to Beck. 5:16. We're in the second quarter, and the Bulldogs have the basketball and a 2-point lead. Blaine Beck's shot is too hard, but Meehan can't handle the rebound, and it's run down there by Heath Marshall. Drive inside, shot is up and good. A circus shot by Doug Ostis.
Ostis wanted to pass the ball. He got up in the air, looked around, there was nobody open, and he just sort of threw it up there.
Closest thing to him was the rim, so he shot it. Whoa, we got a collision down there, and Billy Lieberman is decked, and we're going to have a foul.
Billy is not afraid to throw his weight around. I don't know what he weighs, but he is not afraid to crash around down there.
That is 3 fouls on Jeff Gruenhagen. Right now it's Stoll along with Beck, Marshall, Ostis, And let's see who else is on the floor. Scott Pearlett is checked in for the Bulldogs. First free throw is good by Lieberman. It's 18-15.
First two guys off the bench normally for DeSmet are underclassmen as well, so they're looking good for next year.
Second one is also good. Lieberman will come out of the ball game. Checking in for him will be Chris Hayes. Chris got the starting call last night for the Monarchs. 18-16, 4:44 left to go, second quarter. Doug Ostis off to Blaine Beck, back out to Ostis. This is Marshall. His shot high off the rim, no good. And let's see who comes up with it. Holler does. And the Monarchs come this way. Bounce pass inside all alone is Meehan. He gets the roll. Brad gets for his fourth point of the game. And we're tied again at 18.
Nice pass by Holler. A lot of English on that ball.
Pass underneath intended for Pearlett down low is knocked away. And here come the Warner Monarchs the other way.
They were just down 4 a minute ago. Now they can take the lead.
They've got a chance to score their 6th straight point. Braun can't get it to go. And Holler, in his attempt to bat it away from Scott Pearlett, knocks it out of bounds, and it'll belong to the Bulldogs. There's a look at John Holler.
He is the defensive whiz on this team. You got to have a couple of those when you got a Mark Rozelle and Braun that do the bulk of the scoring.
Beck can't get it to go, and there's another rebound for John Braun.
Braun had 5 in the first quarter alone.
So he must be up to about 8 or so, 7 or 8. Holler to Rozelle. Marker with the ball on the wing. This is John Holler. His shot is no good. Stoll with the rebound ahead to Ostis. He's running the fast break, but 4 Monarchs are 5 actually back on defense quickly. We're still tied at 18. We're down to 3:13 actually to go in the second quarter. Pass inside, stolen away by Braun, and Rozelle comes the other way. Mark spins along the baseline, can't get the shot off. John Holler.
They were most concerned with Rozelle, but he really has not been a factor in the game so far.
Only 2 points. Braun back to Rozelle. His jumper is not good. Rebound by Chris Hayes. Inside, nice pass to Braun, and he gets his 4th field goal of the game. He's got 8 points.
Beautiful pass by Hayes for the easy layup. Those are the kind that you say thanks for on the way down the floor.
Pass underneath, Jeff Stoll. Kicks it back outside Marshall. This is Doug Ostis. Drives in the lane. Shot is up, and it won't go. Rebound by Holler. 2:20 left to play first half. 20-18. The Monarchs with the basketball and the lead. Braun on the baseline. She's got 10. Only averages 13, and he's had 12, averaged 12 in the tournament. 24 on the first 2 days.
Oh, he's picked up the slack with Rozelle not scoring a lot of points early there. He looks very sure of himself down near the hoop. He had a very slow start last night.
And then again had a number of turnovers, traveling calls against him, and a couple early here tonight, but he's lit it up for 10 of his team's 22 points. Stoll, turnaround, didn't square up to the basket, but almost got it to go anyway. Rebound inside, the follow shot is good. That is Scott Pearlett. Pearlett has his first 2.
It looked like Braun had the rebound, and Pearlett just took it away. That's not an easy thing to do.
Rozelle finds Hayes. He can't get the shot to go. Beck with the outlet pass to Heath Marshall. Again, Warner's back on defense, and I think we're going to have a carrying the ball call. Yes, we are.
Well, he got down there awful quick.
Yep. Jim Morrison with the call there. 1:21 left to play first half. 22-20 again. Warner the chance to increase their lead, and I think 4 has been their biggest lead of the night for either team. Lieberman has come back in. Brad Meehan. This is Rozelle. Hayes with the basketball. Looks for Rozelle along the baseline. Heath Marshall playing the defense. Nice pass inside. Meehan, he gets it again. 6 points for Brad.
Well, Rozelle is so unselfish there. He drew everybody on him, and Meehan was wide open.
16 of the 24 points have been split up between Meehan and Braun for Warner. 24-20, under a minute, 40 seconds left to play in the second quarter. Ostis to Marshall, back to Doug. Gets the ball inside. Rob Schmidt, turnaround is good. He's got his first 2 of the game. Rather, give him 4, first field goal of the game. And it's back to a 2-point Warner lead. Roselle is double teamed, but a nice little stutter step, and he blows right by the defense, takes it up, scores. It won't count. Rick Dorr calling the offensive foul. And that's 2 against Mark Roselle.
Well, I guess he leaned in a little bit there. Rick Dorr makes the call. Let's take a look here. Mark takes the ball all the way down the floor, and Stoll did have position. Good call.
Looked better on the replay right away. There was some question. Roselle, though, did a beautiful stutter step out at midcourt to get away from the double-team trap.
Oh, he blew by everybody.
16 seconds. The Bulldogs will play it for 1 here, try and tie things up at halftime. It's 24-22. The Bulldogs down by a basket. Lieberman knocks the pass away. 6 seconds left. He didn't get the steal, but it's going to be tough now for DeSmet to score. Ostis, scoop shot won't go, and that's the end of the first half. 16 minutes left to play. We're at halftime, and Warner leads DeSmet 24-22.
If you live on a farm or in any one of these 33 South Dakota towns, your electric bill could increase by 50 to 300%. The administration's budget proposes to sell our self-supporting Missouri River dams and power stations to the highest bidder. If that concerns you, contact your local rural electric cooperative. They'll give you a rural defense information kit with ways to make yourself heard in Washington. Don't let them sell us down the river. Rural people will do our share, but we want a fair national budget.
You're gonna feel right when you drive home tonight.
Right now, you'll save with low-interest financing on new cars and trucks at Ben-Hur Ford. Plus, we're extending it to a group of discounted 86 Ford demonstrators. Save hundreds.
Working harder.
Get big savings on a shipment of 1985 Ford executive cars from Escorts to Lincoln Town Cars. And save on 35 used cars and trucks under $3,000.
Working harder, treating you right. Ben-Hur Ford.
24-22, Warner leads the DeSmet Bulldogs. We're at halftime of the game to decide 3rd place. But now there's some teams for them, as a matter of fact, that played this afternoon that are about to receive their awards. And we'll be checking down and picking up that in just a little bit.
Your leading scorer at halftime has been John Braun. We talked about Mark Roselle being the guy that Warner needed to win the ball game, probably. But it's been Braun on the inside with 10, 6 for Meehan, 4 for Holler, and 2 each for Lieberman. And Mark Roselle. For the Bulldogs, 6 each for Stoll and Ostis, 4 for Schmidt, and 2 each for Grunhagen, Marshall, and Scott Peerlett.
I think it says something for the Monarchs to only have 2 points at halftime out of Roselle and still be leading in the game.
Yeah, as we've talked about so many times, he does a lot more than just score, though. He had several beautiful passes for assists when he drew people on him. When he was driving in, just dumped it off. And there were a couple of times that Meehan and Braun had easy layups after Roselle attracted 3 different players, and he just dished it off for a fine assist.
All right, the 4 teams that played this afternoon are now lining up on the floor to receive their awards. Let's go down to PA man Jeff Duffy.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the awards for the teams that played this afternoon in the consolation round are South Dakota High School Activities Association Board of Control members Jim Flavares, Superintendent of Bonham High School, and Lauren Siefkin, School Board member of Condie High School. First for the Region 4 champion, Del Rapids St. Mary's Cardinals, Matt Nelson. Alan Wolf. Corey Peichel. Craig Hansen. Rick Brandner. Todd Peichel. Mark Roman. Sam Huey. Jim Reese. Keith Miller. Gary Uhlberg. Jeff Klein. Student managers Mike Pfister and Greg Garrett. Assistant coach Paul Gunn. And head coach of the Dallas St. Mary's Cardinals, Terry Majors. And now for the Region 3 champion, Northwestern Wildcats. Todd Clemens, Scott Kettering, Dan Eppard, Corey Beardimple, Jeff Holing, Eric Reeker, Chad Clemens, Bobby Clemens, Dan Peterson, Kim Kettering, Brad Fishback, Rick Zephyr, student managers Joanne Hines and Donald Haler, assistant coach James Christman, and head coach of the Northwestern Wildcats, Jim Trett. And now the Region A champions, Selby Lions, Mike Spirey, Tom Bickle, Jeff Bailey, Brian Stroh, Tom Lachetsky, Matthew Zabel, Jamie Van Well, Clark Jordery, Stephen Sawinski, Mark Pearman, Stacy Thorstensen, Scott Whitlock, student managers Jim Lund, Craig Skillingstad, assistant coach Perry Horner, and head coach of the Selby Lions, Doug Grove. And now for the consolation champion, Parker Pheasant, Kenny Pete, Chris Novak, Darren Hay, Chad Nelson, Mark Roth, Mark Salter, Carter Crumbach, Mike Jeffries, Todd Leininger, Jason Headley, Jeff Joffer, Mike Joffer, student managers Rhonda Fries and Jennifer Plucker, assistant coach Art Haig, and accepting the consolation championship trophy for the Parker Pheasants, Coach Gail Hoover. In 1977, the South Dakota High School Activities Association presented their first Distinguished Service Awards at the Boys State Basketball Tournament. The award was established to recognize outstanding service to the youth of the state through various high school activities programs. Candidates are nominated by the member schools and or the Board of Control, with the final selection made by the Board of Control. The awards are considered under the following categories: Administrator, Board of Education, Coach, Contributor, Director, and Official. Nominees must exemplify the highest standards of professional ethics, sportsmanship, moral character, and carry the endorsement of their local high school. The award to be presented this evening goes to a gentleman who has worked with the youth of South Dakota for many years. Harvey S. Moen, Northern State College of Aberdeen. A resume of his services will be found in the tournament program. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with the deepest gratitude that the South Dakota High School Activities Association's Distinguished Service Award is presented to Mr. Moen this evening. Ruth Rain, Assistant Executive Secretary of the Association, will make the presentation. Other recipients this year are Monsignor Henry P. Colbeck, St. Agatha School, Howard, Ray T. DeFilbus, University of South Dakota in Vermilion, and Donald W. McCabe of Washington High School in Sioux Falls, whose awards were presented at the Class A basketball tournament in Sioux Falls last week, and Dr. L.V. Ben Henry, Black Hill State College of Spearfish, who will be accepting his award tonight at the Class AA tournament in Rapid City.
(24-22), the Monarchs of Warner are leading the DeSmet Bulldogs at halftime, and we'll be back to take a look at statistics and scoring. But first, this break. You're watching the State B Tournament on KSF Live.
South Dakota farmers are growing more DeKalb Pfizer soybeans every year, and for good reason.
My name's Jim Dietrich, and I farm with my father Albert near Gayville, South Dakota. We've been planting DeKalb soybeans for 4 years. We really like these beans for their strong emergence and sturdy stalks. This year they're making about 50 bushels to the acre. We also like the super service and good advice that we get from our DeKalb dealer.
DeKalb Pfizer soybeans are winning their way onto more South Dakota acres every year. Order your supply today from your local dealer.
Weeknights on Eyewitness News get the eyewitness advantage right here. Our eyewitness reporters. When someone or something makes news, they give you the facts. Give them to you straight, give them to you fast. But because they're involved in your community and care about you and your problems, they take the time to explain what those facts mean in your life. Our eyewitness reporters, as special as the area they cover. Get the eyewitness advantage weeknights on Eyewitness News right here.
Well, we already gave you individual scoring. John Braun has been the main man for the Monarchs of Warner with 10 points, even though Mark Rosella scored only 2. Mark has had several assists, and the real reason why the score is the way it is neither team is shooting very well, but DeSmet is not shooting very well at all. Only 19% in the first quarter. They are still only at 29% for the entire first half. Both teams have taken 27 shots. Warner has hit on 10 of those. That's 37% as a team. DeSmet has hit on only 8 of those shots. 29%. 4 of 6 from the line for Warner, 6 of 7 from the line for DeSmet. Both pretty good totals there. Rebounding, very close. Braun has 7 of the 18 for Warner, and Stoll has 8 of the 21 for DeSmet. Turnovers, DeSmet has had twice as many. That's hurt them a little bit, but again, really just the inability to put the basketball in the hole for the Bulldogs has been the difference.
Well, you look at, like you mentioned, Braun with 10 points at halftime. 6 players have scored for DeSmet already in the first half. No one has more than 6 points. Both Jeff Stoll and Doug Ostis have 6 points. So that's become very evident throughout this tournament is the balance that DeSmet has had.
I think 14 has been the high they've gotten from anybody. They had 14 from Marshall off the bench in their win over Parker, and 14 last night for Stoll. So they expect that kind of balance. I think Warner does not really expect that kind of balance, but again, they expect a little bit more from Roselle.
Right.
Still, they're ahead at halftime. They got to be pleased with that. Again, in the pregame conversations we had, I felt as though it was going to be a little bit more difficult for Warner to come out of 2 very tight games that involved a lot of stress and strain up here as well as physically. Meanwhile, DeSmet really had an easy win in the first round, and their toughest game was last night. It was a disappointing loss, but I really thought it might be a little easier for the... Hey, look at this, the Turton Centennial coming up.
The Frogs.
We got the Frogs on. Their Centennial is June 20th, 21st, and 22nd. Look at that. There we go. We got the date. Turton. That's right near Condie. Be there. It's going to be a ball. We've got the mayor of Turton. In fact, these people are wild. They have kept us up the last 2 nights. We've had very little sleep staying over at the Hickory House, and those people in Turton can take full responsibility for that.
They're about 6 doors down the hall, but you'd swear they're right next door. They're having a good time. I think they're starting their Centennial about 4 months early this year.
That's all right. They're going to have some fun. Again, the score here at halftime, Warner on top 24-22, and coming up a little bit later, the championship game, Dakota Christian against Jones County, and I know that a lot of the fans that are here eagerly awaiting that championship.
Well, I think it's going to be one of those championship games where in the fans' eyes there is a distinct underdog, and that is Jones County. And a lot of times the underdog is the team the neutral fans will cheer for. And I think you get a little more excitement when there is a definite favorite in the ballgame.
I agree. You know, for years and years and years, the state tournament, when Armour didn't make it on a yearly basis.
It was almost like there was something missing.
Right, because, you know, whether you want to admit it or not, you know, I got the world of respect for Brunel Glanzer and his program, and yet they're the kind of team you hate, just like the Yankees or the Celtics or the Montreal Canadiens. They're a team you hate because they're always so doggone good. And again, when there isn't that team to sort of root against automatically, it takes something away from the tournament almost.
You use the word hate, but I think another word is also respect.
Oh, absolutely. But still, you know, you root against them, I guess is the word.
I'll never forget in '79 out when the tournament was held in Rapid City, final Beersford against DeSmet, or rather Beersford against Armour, and Beersford fans, the people that were cheering for Beersford, if there were 9,000 people at the gym, said 7,000 had to be for Beersford, but that good Armour team was able to win that ball game, a very close ball game. Meehan gets the first 2 points of the second half as he drives along the baseline. He's got 8, and it's 26-22. The Monarchs are on top. Gruenhagen, Ostis, Schmidt, Stoll, along with Martins in the game, and the shot is good by Schmidt.
It's had 6 now in each of the 3 games.
26-24. We're a half a minute into the third quarter. It's been a tight game, certainly not a very well-played game shooting percentage-wise by either team, but it's been close. And Roselle drives. He's having a hard time with his shot tonight. Can't get it, and the Bulldogs with a chance to tie. Ostis off to Gruenhagen. Tries to drive, has the ball slapped away, and Lieberman comes up with it. 1-on-1. Billy Lieberman against Ostis, and his pass intended for Roselle is knocked away. Here come the Bulldogs.
Bill Martins got back, made a good play on defense.
Gruenhagen got it. We're tied, 26 apiece. Jeff Gruenhagen has 4, his first field goal of the game. Seems to be a little more ebb and flow into this third quarter than we saw in most of the first half.
A little more pace. The Bulldogs liking that, getting down the floor in a hurry, and normally they are much more of a deliberate team.
Inside, Braun doesn't get it to go. Meehan can't get it either. And the Bulldogs come out of the pack with the basketball. Ostis pushes it up the floor. This is Bill Martins off in the corner. Rob Schmidt. Cross court to Gruenhagen. His shot from the lane is good, and DeSmet back on top, 28-26.
What did I say they shot in the first half? 8 of 27. Now they're 3 of 3 here in the second half.
Roselle to John Holler. Bounce pass inside. They're looking for Braun. He gets the hook shot over Stoll, but it won't go for him. And the Bulldogs, with 6 minutes left in the third quarter, can increase that lead to 4. Gruenhagen to Rob Schmidt. Ball slapped away by Holler, and there are 4 people that run into each other down in that corner. And it's last touched by one of the Bulldogs.
Rick Dorr has been to the state tournament, the official right there, with 2 different high school teams, and now he is here in the striped shirt.
Redfield and Watertown for the teams he led, 1 to the B, 1 to the A. The old A. This is Roselle from the top of the circle. It won't go for him, and he's having the dickens of a night shooting the basketball. Now he's got to play the defense. Schmidt drives, no basket, and a foul goes on Rob Schmidt. And that is 3 on Rob.
Well, Roselle is having a hard time making the shots, but he is still hanging in there in other aspects of the game and made a good defensive play there.
DeSmet has taken a 2-point lead. 5:34 left third quarter, 28-26.
Hey, good looking. What you got cooking? How's about cooking something up with cheese? Hey, sweet baby, don't you think maybe you could cook something up with cheese? Let's cook something tasty up. Just can't seem to get enough real cheese.
Make your meal sing with real cheese.
Now you're cooking.
The Sioux Falls Institute of Sports Medicine is ready to help you reach your personal best. Comprehensive care for athletes and teams, injury care and clinics, rehabilitation, performance testing, all under the direction of your physician and sports medicine specialists, and backed by the powerful technology of McKinnon Hospital. The Sioux Falls Institute of Sports Medicine. We'll help you reach your personal best.
Some more fans waiting for
the fish is here again.
The walleye man. And Jim Morrison, the official, waiting to get things underway again. DeSmet has outscored Warner 6-2 here in the third quarter to take a 28-26 lead.
And they've actually outscored them 6-0 here over the last stretch because Meehan hit the first basket of the third quarter.
Lieberman to John Holler. Looks inside, gets it to Meehan. Brad, couple of fakes, can't get the shot off. Out high to Lieberman. Billy, bounce pass Braun. They've looked for him all night, and he's having problems here in the second half getting the shot to fall. Roselle scraps and hustles and picks up the loose basketball.
Still working hard.
Into Braun again. John gets it this time. 12 for John Braun.
Give Roselle a lot of credit there. As we talked about, he's struggling with a shot, but still doing a lot of other stuff.
Knotted at 28. Jeff Stoll all alone. He gets the bucket. He's got 8.
Ostis with the assist.
30-28. DeSmet back up by 2. John Holler to Mark Roselle. Shot is blocked by Stoll. He averages 4 a ball game. He gets the outlet pass to Jeff Grunhagen. Nice spin move, top of the circle. And he'll have to kick it back out to Doug Ostis. DeSmet trying to build it up to a 4-point lead. Inside, Stoll on the way down. Can't get the shot to go. And Braun with yet another rebound.
Good intimidation in there. Somebody stuck a hand in his face and made him miss the shot.
John Holler. As again, you look high from above courtside as the drive to the basket, but we've got a whistle.
Bill Martins will get the foul. They talked about that in the pregame show. Want him to get 10 points. I don't think he's even taken a shot yet.
Maybe one early on, but still looking for his first points. Warner will inbound it. Braun for the tie, and he gets it.
That's not fair. Everybody turned around. All the DeSmet players turned around to see what the crowd was roaring about. The Jones County Coyotes going in to dress, and they threw it into Braun. He was wide open.
DeSmet's fault. They got no business worrying about the fans as Ostis can't get it to go. Schmidt can't either. There's Stoll as they're working hard on the boards, and Jeff gets it to go. He's in double figures with 10. I'm sure Marv McCune would really buy that for an excuse.
All right. Sure he wouldn't buy it, but it's the truth.
Nice return pass on the give and go from Braun to Meehan. The shot is no good, but a foul was called, and Grunhagen will pick up his 4th.
He's had some foul trouble in the tournament so far, but see if Jeff goes over the top. Yes, sir. He's leaning right on Meehan's back, and he's going to take a rest. Pearland comes back in.
Scott had a bucket in the first half.
Hey, look at that shirt.
Boss didn't.
Good man, #1.
And he's emphatic about it, too.
Yep, should be.
Don't give him a hard time. Meehan at the line. He's got 8 points. Make that 9.
You make the nicest friends at state tournaments. Gail White made me a Larry Bird sweatshirt and brought it to me the other day. Gail White, the wife of Bob White.
You got it Thursday.
Wakanda has been here just a few times.
You got it Thursday, and finally this morning at about 10 o'clock, we got you to take it off. Your instant favorite shirt.
It's my Christmas present.
Stoll off the back of the rim, off the side, and it bounces out, and Holler's there with the rebound. Brad Meehan, we're tied at 32, 3:14 left to go, third quarter. Meehan had some offensive problems in the first game. I think he had 8 points and didn't shoot the ball that well. Stoll with a block of the hook shot by Braun, and John will pick up the foul.
You know, we talked about Stoll's block shots. He shattered the school record that was held by Hector the Rejector, Mark Schultz, with 4 block shots per contest. Stoll, as you can see there, does a great job of going straight up and not getting the foul. That's something you really have a difficult time drilling into a young guy's head, but it's worked with Jeff Stoll because he has done a great job in that shot blocking department.
Next basket gives one of these teams the lead. Stoll has the ball inside. Triple team knocked away by Meehan. 2-on-3 situation. Meehan goes all the way and shoots it up too hard and too low, but he was fouled by Bill Martins, and that's 3 on Bill.
3 on the Bird, man. There was a reason for that shot looking a little awkward. He got hacked on the way up.
I thought Brad might pull it out and wait for his teammates, but saw an opening, took it strong to the basket. Holler Fowler will inbound it to John Braun. And John hands it back to Roselle. Mark's shot is on the way. It won't go. And here come the Bulldogs. Ostis.
Hard to believe Roselle has yet to score here in the second half and has only 2 points in the game.
Doug can't get it to go, and the rebound by Roselle. We've called his name a bunch with nice passes and rebounds, but hasn't gotten the shots to go. Gets Martins in the air, doesn't take the shot, and the Monarchs will reset.
Well, they're still tied with DeSmet, even though Roselle has only 2 points.
There's the jump shot by Roselle. It won't go again, and he is ice cold from the floor. Just one basket. Bill Martins lobs it underneath off the hand. Let's see, last touch by Warner. And the Bulldogs will get the ball back. Heath Marshall checks into the Bulldog lineup. Coming out is Bill Martins. John Braun was on the other end of the floor. The officials wave him back to this end. I think he thought there was going to be a free throw probably because he had headed down the other way. Inbounded. Heath Marshall right off the bench. His shot is short. And here comes Roselle. He's got Lieberman ahead of him. Decides not to dish it off, and he falls down in the lane. The ball is loose, and who wants it? Stoll gets it ahead. There's Rob Schmidt. He has the ball slapped out of his hand by Meehan. And it still belongs to the Bulldogs. And we're still tied at 32. 1:40 left to go in the third quarter. Marv McCune signaling in a play, which Doug Ostis will call and trigger.
Look for the big guy inside.
Pierlet to Schmidt. Cross court to Marshall. Top of the circle, Ostis. Doug looking for help. Gets it off again to Heath Marshall. Inside Stoll. Turnaround in the lane. Got it. Boy, you can't fool you.
Nope. By golly. I've seen a lot of basketball in my day.
34-32 to Schmidt on top. Seen a lot of basketball in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, no kidding.
The A and B. Braun goes down to his knees to save it, and shot is up by Roselle, but we've got a whistle.
Mark gets a reprieve on that one, if you can believe this. You ready? He is 1 out of 15 from the floor.
Heath Marshall, who you just saw there, picked up the foul. And Roselle will go to the line for the first time. 1 of 15.
1 of 15. Wow. Had 39 points, 20 rebounds in the first 2 games.
He could hit his next 5 and still only be shooting 30%.
Right.
First one is good by Roselle. Mark's got 3. He'll have another, and there you see the score, and there you see the result. 34-34, 1:06 left to go. Roselle now with 4 points. Ostis. Pierlet now with the basketball is Heath Marshall. Back to Doug Ostis. Heath will pull up in the lane. It won't go for him, but there's the rebound and the follow by Jeff Stoll. And Stoll has 8 this quarter. Give him 14 in the game, all of those coming from the floor.
He's doing a job inside. Both he and Braun having excellent games. Both teams are looking for those 2 guys almost every time down floor now, too.
Billy Lieberman, a rare shot, and it rolls around. It's no good. We've got a whistle, and we're going to have a foul called, and this will go on Scott Pierlet.
Actually saved the basket because Braun ripped that ball away from Pierlet and dumped it in, but
Blaine Beck
still get the chance. It's 1-on-1. That's 5 fouls this half and only 1 on Warnerway.
Blaine Beck will check in. Rob Schmidt will come out. Rob sits down with 6 points. And John Braun will be at the free throw line where he's 0 of 2. He's got 14 points. Off the front of the rim, no good. And Pierlet with another rebound. Ahead to Beck. This is Doug Ostis. Doug looking for help. Tries to thread it underneath to Scott Pierlet. And the Bulldogs will reset it. 14 seconds left to go in the third quarter. DeSmet up by 2. Pass to Ostis, almost knocked away. Doug picks it up, tries to get it underneath to Beck, and with 6 seconds left, here come the Monarchs, and this is where Roselle is very effective. 1 second, we've got a whistle, and a foul is going to be called on Billy Lieberman as he tried to set a pick.
And can you believe that? Mark Roselle's got to be a little upset. He made that. He pulled up and hit a 25-footer, and it won't count.
When you're 1 of 15, and you finally drop one, you'd like it to count. Oh, they called it, pardon me, I said that was against Lieberman. It is against Blaine Beck. And Lieberman will be at the free throw line. He misses it. And with 1 second left, that'll end the third quarter. 8 minutes of basketball left for these two teams this year. 36-34 DeSmet on top.
South Dakota farmers are growing more DeKalb Pfizer soybeans every year, and for good reason.
My name's Jim Petrick, and I farm with my father Albert near Gayville, South Dakota. We've been planting DeKalb soybeans for 4 years. We really like these beans for their strong emergence and sturdy stalks. This year they're making about 50 bushels to the acre. We also like the super service and good advice that we get from our DeKalb dealer.
DeKalb Pfizer soybeans are winning their way onto more South Dakota acres every year. Order your supply today from your local dealer.
I've got just one word for the big spenders in Washington. No.
Strong leadership for South Dakota. Heideprem for Congress.
Get the eyewitness advantage right here. At 6, we give you a closer look. At 10, the last word. When news happens that's important to your life and the life of your community, be on the scene, involved and informed. Weeknights, Tom Rooney and Joan Russell bring you the latest news. Mark Robin in the sports, Dave Ingerbretts in the weather. Get the eyewitness advantage right here.
Well, last week it was our executive producer's birthday, Marge Hockenstead, and today it's good friend Norm Hilson from WNAX Radio. And
happy birthday, Norm.
Congratulations, Norm. It wouldn't be the same without Norm up here in the booth, would it? Underway here in the fourth quarter. DeSmet on top by 2, and they throw the ball away.
Right through the hands of Bill Martins, and the Monarchs will have a chance to tie it. Chris Hayes has checked into the lineup. This is Brad Meehan with the basketball. 36-34, just underway in the fourth quarter. Roselle struggling, 1 for 15, 1 for 16, and the rebound pulled down by Stoll. Quick outlet pass. Here comes Heath Marshall. Knifes between two defenders, blocked away, and we're going to have a jump ball. Roselle was able to get a hand on the basketball, and Heath Marshall hit the deck. And they're going to call it a jump ball, and the possession arrow points for DeSmet. Some discussion.
There was Red's ball. We took the ball out at half. We got a jump ball. Yeah. Jump ball. There was Red's ball in half. Red put it in play. It was Red's ball at quarter. And then we got a jump ball.
Well, Rick Dorr's got it straight. Who cares what the arrow says? That's right. Absolutely right. It should be Warner ball.
Actually, it's kind of lucky that it's this early in the quarter that he remembered who got the ball at the beginning of the fourth quarter. Well, actually, he was talking about who got it to start the second half. I think this is our first jump ball. And that's Wade Roselle, 2 of 17. He gets another bucket. He's got 6 in the game, and it's 36-36. Martins to Marshall. Heath's jump shot is good. Marshall on the game has 4, 2 points in each half. Martins. This is Roselle behind the back pass. Devon back to Roselle, and
that had to get him going. I think he's starting to feel a little more confident throwing the ball behind his back. 2 in a row after missing 15 of his first 16 shots from the floor.
He's one of those players you hope he has a good game out because he's such a treat to watch. And Blaine Beck comes back to answer the Roselle bucket with one of his own. And it's 40-38. DeSmet on top. Martins. This is Hayes, gets it off to Holler. John's shot is off the front of the rim, and it's run down by Braun.
Another rebound for John, who had 22 in the first 2 games, and he's right around that average of 11 tonight.
Roselle to Meehan. They're paying some special attention to Braun down low. This is Roselle falling away, drops it off to Braun, and John gets his 6th point of the second half. He's got 16, 40-40.
Another nice pass by Mark Roselle.
Just under 6 minutes left to go in the ball game. Pass is stolen away. He was behind Stoll as he was cutting across the lane, and John Braun comes up with the loose basketball. Roselle. It goes, and he's starting to feel it. He's got 4 straight.
It takes a great player to even have the heart to keep shooting when you're having this bad a night, and I'm I'm sure Warner fans are glad he's still shooting. They're ahead by 2 with 5:43 to go in the game.
When you ride a Snapper High Vac, you get a little something extra. The power of a huge vacuum cleaner. Because Snapper's patented deck traps the air, creating a tremendous vacuum that stands grass up for a beautiful, clean-cut lawn. And Snapper's High Vac makes bagging a snap. Get the incredible Snapper mower that makes a clean sweep of your lawn. It's a snap with Snapper.
South Dakota Snapper dealers are proud to bring you the State B basketball tournaments. Check your yellow pages under lawnmowers.
Has this ever happened to you?
That's Claim Insurance Company.
This is Harry Flustered. I was wondering when you'd be paying my hospital bills.
Mr. Flustered, our records indicate that you failed to mark the proper box on Claim Form 2, Section B, Part 3, Letter A, Sentence 5, Line 4.
Isn't there a better kind of health coverage?
There is Dakota Care. With Dakota Care, you never fill out a claim form, not one. Just show your Dakota Care card. Dakota Care, the health care plan of the South Dakota Medical Association.
Those fans have something to cheer about. Warner has taken a 2-point lead back, 42-40. And DeSmet has the basketball. Doug Ostis.
It's been a pretty good ball game back and forth.
Like we talked about, the shooting percentages were very poor in the first half. They've warmed up considerably here in the second half. Gruenhagen for the tie. It won't go, and a whistle, and I think this will go on Rob Schmidt over the back, and against Rob, that is number 4. 4 fouls on Gruenhagen, 4 fouls on Schmidt.
Both starting forwards in what we would call serious foul trouble. Watch number 31 crash the boards, and he simply does not have position in there. Braun does, and the only way you can get by him is to try to knock him out of the way. He did knock him down earlier in the game, but that was on a blind pick.
Braun is got it. He has his first free throw out of 4 attempts. 17 points in the game for John.
Made good use of the rim on that one.
You bet. John is short on the other, but Roselle is there with the rebound. His follow-up is off the glass, no good. Braun on the offensive rebound again, won't go, and this time DeSmet comes up with a loose basketball. Gruenhagen, 43-40. The Monarchs are on top, 5:15 left to go in the basketball game. Ostis to Marshall. Lob underneath intended for Stoll. We've got a whistle, and coming over the top and called for the foul is John Holler, and John does not agree. A high five will cure a lot of things.
Well, that is only 2 on Warner. That's one of the blessings there. It's been 5 on DeSmet for quite some time, so the Monarchs can be a little bit more aggressive than the Bulldogs can here. Marv McCune hollering out to his team there, down by 3.
Plenty of time, 5:09 left to go in the fourth quarter. Ostis will inbound it again. Gruenhagen to Marshall. Heath lobs it underneath Rob Schmidt, and it's partially blocked by Roselle.
Can he get up there or what?
And here comes Mark on the dribble. He's warmed up some. After a horrendous start inside, Meehan has the ball slapped away, and Doug Ostis is going to pick up the foul. That is just the first one on Doug.
Roselle still only 4 for 21, but he did make 3 in a row, and that's got his team ahead by 3.
Bill Martins is 2, or rather Brad Meehan will go to the free throw line. He's 2 of 2 in the game, 59% on the season.
He has 10 points in the game.
It won't go for him. Here come the Bulldogs. They're still down by 3. Doug Ostis inside, Stoll, and count it. You could see that coming as soon as he caught it, because he was able to turn inside, lose the defense, and lay it up with no interference.
One big step, and it's right in there.
43-42. The Warner lead is down to 1. Braun, head fake, goes left and scores. Nice move by John Braun. He's got 20, or rather 19 now in the game.
The 2 big guys have been the stars of this game.
Ostis inside off the chest of Rob Schmidt, and from behind, John Braun is called with the push in the back. And that is 4 on Braun.
John's smiling about the call. Obviously thought it was a good call, in agreement, that face, you think, maybe?
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't.
3 players with 4 fouls in the game. Schmidt and Gruenhagen for DeSmet, and now Braun for Warner. Inbounds pass goes out high to Gruenhagen. This is Heath Marshall. He's got it, and his team has cut the lead back to 1. Heath has 6.
He's not afraid to tee it up and let it rip.
He's got a nice-looking shot as well for his sophomore. Roselle has a nice-looking rip. Rips the nets and gets the foul.
The bear has awoken.
We've got a timeout on the floor. 47-44, and Warner will be at the free throw line when we return.
You know who can really take advantage of Northwestern Bell's all-time volume discounts? Businesses, because the more you talk, the more you save. Up to 20% each month on long-distance calls made inside South Dakota using Northwestern Bell. Just dial direct anytime. So now you don't have to call and say, hello, Rapid City, buy. Hello, Spearfish, sell. Now you have more time to do business. Hello, PJ, it's Bobby Joe. Let's talk turkey. Let's make a deal on sugar beets. No, not turkey, sugar beets. Do you understand English at all?
This land was prairie just a century ago. But then an agricultural revolution made this prairie the state we call home. Today, there's another revolution in agriculture, a troubling one. Across South Dakota, people are asking, where is the future? A determined family farmer is helping them find hope for tomorrow. He is Clint Roberts, Republican for governor. Clint Roberts, he's one of us.
Well, a lot of souvenir T-shirts from the weekend here. And before we go any farther, hi, Waldo.
Waldo, hi from everybody.
It has been a great week for us here in Huron, and I want to commend the Chamber of Commerce and Barry Heidema for the job they have done here in putting on this tournament. They've put their best foot forward, and they have really done a terrific job. They started off on the right foot Wednesday night. They had a nice banquet for all the players and the coaches and the media, and it's been a great success. I think the town here is extremely happy to have had the tournament here, and they should be very proud of what they have done.
Roselle on the missed free throw. The foul, incidentally, was on Heath Marshall. That was his second. 47-44. Warner's lead is 3. Gruenhagen. Heath Marshall, he'll let fly, and he doesn't get it, but he does draw the foul, and Billy Lieberman will pick it up. That is 2 on the sophomore guard.
Marshall again, watch where he stands on the foul line. He has got a little bit of a cockeyed stance way over to the left side, but he's had good success with it, not only throughout the tournament, but for the year.
He's got success on that one. He's got 7 points on the season as a free throw shooter. He's 65%.
7 for 7 in the tournament. 8 for 8 in the tournament. So he apparently has found his spot on the Huron Arena.
Roselle brings the ball up court against Heath Marshall in the DeSmet press. It's a 1-point Warner lead, 47-46. We're down to 3.5 left to go inside Braun. He leans in. He can't get the shot, but he does draw the foul. And Jeff Stoll, is that his first foul?
First foul. That's what a great game this guy has played. Last night he fouled out late in the game. When you get a big kid that blocks as many shots as he does, you're going to pick up several fouls just because of the fact you're going up there and getting some body contact, which he did there.
Braun, a strong move to the basket. Can't get the free throw, though. He has not done well from the line. 1 of 6 in the game.
Neither team has done well from the line all year. It's amazing they could both shoot 55 and 56% respectively and make it to the state tournament.
20 points now for John Braun, 48-46. Back on the even numbers, a 2-point lead for the Monarchs. DeSmet looking for the tie. Gruenhagen to Marshall. He'll let fly. Swish.
Mr. Offense in the fourth quarter has 8 of his 10 points here in the fourth stanza.
And we're going to have a whistle and a traveling call. They double-team Meehan, did Schmidt and Gruenhagen, which says something. Each of them has 4 fouls. They went right after it, and there you see Chuck Welke say, let's talk things over. 48-48. With 3:05 left to play in the fourth quarter.
I remember the first year I planted Pioneer hybrids. We just bought a new pickup, had our son Tommy, and I'd gotten the best yields I ever had. By the time Tommy was 9 or 10, I was planting most of my corn acres to Pioneer. And like Tommy, my yields were growing too. Now, well, look at Tom. My yields with Pioneer, like Tom, they just keep getting better.
Living and learning and planting Pioneer.
It takes years of preparation to ride a bronc for 8 seconds, and just as much sweat and determination to stage the National High School Rodeo Finals. This July in Rapid City, thousands of civic volunteers will join hands again to give over 1,200 high school kids the opportunity to compete in the largest rodeo in the world. The people of First Bank will be there too, because we know the memory of those 8 seconds will last a lifetime.
The DeSmet cheerleaders, something to cheer about. Their Bulldogs have tied things up at 48 apiece. We've got 3:05 left to go, and there's a shot of Jim Morrison and Jeff Gruenhagen. Lieberman, along with Holler, Meehan, Roselle, and Braun are on the floor for the Monarchs. We'll set the Bulldogs in a minute. This is Ostis to Marshall. Back to Doug. Inside, Stoll has the ball slapped away by Wade Roselle. Meehan beats Gruenhagen to the loose basketball, and the Monarchs, with 2:50 left, can take the lead.
Well, I hope our championship game is this close.
Mark dribbles right through him. Jump shot, baseline, swish.
Unbelievable. The guy is 1 for 15 through the first 3 quarters, and he has made 5 field goals here in the fourth.
But I'll bet there was not a one shot he took in that horrible streak that he didn't think was going to go in. Schmidt, he can't get it to go, and Gruenhagen, no, this is going to go on Stoll. Jeff picks up his second foul. And will head the other direction and shoot some free throws.
Meehan will go to the foul line. Brad with 10 points. He is 2 of 3 from the foul line. He missed earlier in this quarter on the 1-on-1.
Coming back in, Bill Martins, the quote-unquote defensive specialist. He'll take the place of Rob Schmidt.
And only senior that plays much for this team. They'll be back again next year, you would think. Rated number 1 most of the year in Class B.
Mr. Meehan with a chance to give his team a 3-point lead, and he does. Brad will have another. It's 51-48, 2:25 left to play in the fourth quarter. Comes out on him, but there's Braun with the rebound. His shot, it won't go, and Lieberman gets the rebound.
Jam it, Billy.
Warner by 3 to have the ball. Roselle, no good, and there's Martins with the rebound.
I wish they'd set the alley-oop up for Lieberman. He's just waiting for that chance.
This is Ostis. To Heath Marshall, back to Doug. Under 2 minutes, 1:55 left in. Doug Ostis can't get it. Lieberman, another rebound. He's double teamed. Bounce pass to Meehan. Brad on the dribble gets it back to Mark Roselle. Mark will be double teamed. No, he doesn't allow himself to be double teamed. Takes it down into the corner. 1:35 left. It's 51-48. Warner on top. The winner takes home the third place trophy. The loser settles for fourth. Roselle drives and almost got it to go, and he's fouled in the process, and this will go on Bill Martins, and that is his fourth.
Jeff Stoll, I don't think he was combing his hair in the back. I think he wanted the offensive foul, but watch here. How he leans through there. Stoll's going to get the foul. Now watch Stoll go right to the back of his head, said, hey, that's an offensive foul. No, it wasn't. Martins picked it up as they sandwiched Roselle.
Mark, 68% from there. He is good. He's 3 of 4 tonight. He has scored 13 points in the second half, and he's got 15 on the game.
11 in the fourth quarter. He had only 1 field goal, Wayne, in the first 3 quarters, took 15 shots, and you sure couldn't tell if you just tuned in that he was having a bad game.
It seems some people are going to score their 18 to 20 points no matter what, and Roselle just was cold for a while. Ostis hands one from the outside. Doug has 8, and it's back to a 3-point lead, 53-50. Roselle being hounded by Martins, who makes the steal, but we're going to have a traveling call. Bill Martins, great hustle.
Too bad. Martins really made a great play to come from behind, and that's why Bill is considered the defensive specialist. Good play.
Well, Martins realizes that maybe in a minute and 10, unless we go overtime, his high school career is over. And he's giving it his all. Roselle on the dribble. Another senior. Most of the Warner players, if not all of them, except Lieberman, are seniors. Pass underneath Meehan. And let's see. The layup won't count because of an offensive foul against Mark Roselle.
That's an extra big call. I'm not disagreeing with it, but watch. It takes away the automatic layup for a basket. So it's really a double whammy. They come back down the other end. They're shooting free throws. Instead of being up by 5, they could be up by 1.
Chuck Welke thinking about the call, and Gruenhagen will go to the free throw line. Jeff is 2 of 2 from the line tonight.
Thinking about it to himself.
You bet. Not out loud anymore. He learned his lesson the other day.
I think so.
It's a 2-point lead, 53-51. We've got 59 seconds left to play. Jeff with a chance to pull it to within 1. Swish. Pressure free throws by Gruenhagen. Roselle waves everybody down court. He'll bring it up himself. On the dribble, picks it up, looks for help. He gets it across midcourt to John Holler. 50 seconds left. John brings it out to Billy Lieberman.
Will they shoot?
Roselle.
I doubt it. I think Roselle's going to touch the ball until he's fouled.
Or stripped. He gets it back and lays it up. It won't go, but he's fouled.
I'm really surprised he took that to the basket.
And that goes on Bill Martins, and that may be it.
That's 5 on Bill.
Bill fouls out with no points. He ends his high school career.
Bill, that's 5.
He knows it. You know he knows it. But he's...
I don't know. I don't think he knows it.
you know he knows he knows it.
I don't think he knows it.
Now he knows it.
Hey, Bill, good game, fella.
Bill Martins, like you mentioned, one of the few seniors on this DeSmet team. Marv McCune with a slap on the behind for his senior.
Schmidt comes back in.
53-52, and now Roselle at the line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. Mark is 4 of 5 in the ball game from the free throw line.
I never would have thought he'd get his 18 points like you were talking about.
He's got another.
13 points in the 4th quarter after he scored only 4 before that.
5 are from the free throw line. He's got a chance to put his team up by 3. This is a big one.
Kind of a clutch performance, I'd say.
55-52, half minute left to play in the basketball game. Doug Ostis off to Heath Marshall. He'll take it. He doesn't get it. It goes over the backboard, I believe, and there's a timeout on the floor. The coaches want to talk about it. 28 seconds left to go. Warner leads it 55-52.
Weeknights on Eyewitness News get the eyewitness advantage right here. Our news team, Tom Rooney, June Russell, experienced reporters who explain how their news stories affect you. They're involved in the life of your community, so they do more than deliver news. They bring you insights that can only come from reporters who care about you. Tom Rooney, June Russell, a news team as special as the area they cover. Get the eyewitness advantage weeknights on Eyewitness News right here. Watch the next episode of MASH Sunday following Eyewitness News tonight, right here.
Tune in as Klinger becomes the victim of unusual demands and behavior by the 4077's personnel.
Poses.
Throw out that chin. My chin is out, sir. Then suck in that nose.
Klinger and Charles bag more than a bird.
Eureka!
On MASH.
Tune in the after-hours antics of MASH Sunday following Eyewitness News tonight, right here.
Warner has the basketball in a 3-point lead, and as far as statistically, you'd think they'd want to foul Lieberman. He's a 48% free throw shooter. Other than that, Braun has had his problems tonight. He is a 50% free throw shooter. But you would imagine it's going to be Roselle that's going to touch the ball first.
Right, I don't think Braun will even touch the ball. He's only 2 of 7 tonight.
There's
though.
Lieberman, and he is fouled, and they're going to put the pressure on the sophomore, and Jeff Gruenhagen has just fouled out of the basketball game with 8 points. Gruenhagen, a junior, so he's got some more time left.
Jeff doesn't want to sit down. I don't say as I blame him. Kind of frustrating to have to watch the end of a game from the bench.
John Holler coming over to shake Gruenhagen's hand, as does...
Hey, there's Barney. Where's Andy?
He's with Aunt B and Opie. They went out to Mayberry Lake.
Several good mascots in this tournament.
Lieberman, as we mentioned, 48% from the free throw line. And his team is up by 3, 26 seconds left to go. Billy is 2 for 2 tonight.
2 for 3. If he makes these 2, I think it's over.
Four-point lead.
I think they should put the three-point shot in high school basketball. It's going to take them 3 possessions to come back here, and that's going to be almost impossible.
Ostis on the fly across the timeline, 20 seconds. Doug lets rip, and it's off the front of the rim. No good. Holler gets it out to Lieberman. 3-on-2 break. Lieberman is fouled from behind by Doug Ostis. His second foul, but Billy back at the line and could really sew things up. Doug, a look of dejection.
I think the Bulldogs really came in here with very high expectations, rated #1. But again, they really didn't play very well throughout the districts and regions, so you had to wonder if that would hurt them here in the tournament.
Lieberman's got another, and Billy's done a fine job. Coming up, the State B Championship game, Dakota Christian 21-3 taking on the 21-4 Jones County Coyotes.
The team that peaks at the right time is the team that wins not only this tournament, but any postseason tournament. Look at the NCAA.
10. Ostis is going to be way off, and the rebound by Mark Roselle. We're down to 6 seconds. Roselle ahead to Meehan, 3 seconds, and the layup by Holler is going to camp it off. John Holler gets the ball to go through the net. 60-52 our final score. Warner is the third-place champion as the coaches shake hands. We'll take a break and be right back.
Selling or storing? Storing. Things full already? Yep. It must be almost done then. No, I got a lot left. Well, what did you do? Plant every acre to corn? No, just did what you do. Well, how's that? Planted every corn acre to Pioneer.
Living and learning and planting Pioneer.
Big decisions will be made in the next couple of years affecting all of us. I think it's time South Dakota was included.
Strong leadership for South Dakota. Hydaprim.
Get the eyewitness advantage right here. At 6, we give you a closer look. At 10, the last word. When news happens that's important to your life and the life of your community, be on the scene, involved and informed. Weeknights, Tom Rooney and Joan Russell bring you the latest news. Mark Rubin in the sports, Dave Ingerbretts in the weather. Get the eyewitness advantage right here.
Final score 60-58, I believe. 52.
There we go. 26 points in the fourth quarter for the Monarchs as guess who got hot? After just a miserable first 3 quarters. Mark Roselle was 1 of 15 from the floor, and you figure, hey, he's got to stop shooting one point or another. The shots are close, but they're not going in. And, you know, eventually that's going to really start to hurt the team. Yet, he still had the confidence in his ability to keep shooting. He went wild in the fourth quarter. His 14 points alone were enough to beat DeSmet. They scored 26 points as a team and win it by 8 points. And I think, really, again, we talked about it earlier, I felt as though Warner had a more difficult time to get ready for this game because of the 2 tough games they'd been in. So really a fine performance by the Monarchs.
Now the Monarchs go home the number 3 team in the state. They'll finish at 20-7, and I think Chuck Welke has to be very pleased with the way things came out. John Braun leading the way with 20 points, 18 for Roselle, 11 points in the game for Brad Meehan, 6 for John Holler, and 5 for Billy Lieberman. All those players are finished now at Warner except for Billy Lieberman. They are seniors. And again, 16 leading the way for Jeff Stoll for DeSmet. That's the way the third-place game ends up, as the Monarchs end up as the third-place team. Here are the stats, and we'll take a look at those in a little while, unless you want to do it now.
Nah, let's hold off on these.
Okay, we got the championship game coming up in a few minutes. But first of all, I know something that you want to intro here, and
something very special to me. With the associations we've got with the telethon and such, I've had a lot of chances to make friends with several of the young athletes who competed in this particular state event. We recap the basketball tournaments, the wrestling, the volleyball, the state fiddler championships, you name it. But of all the state events that go on throughout the year, none is more heartwarming than the one that took place at Great Bear in Sioux Falls and throughout the city of Sioux Falls about a month ago. Let's go back to the Special Olympics.
Throughout our tournament coverage, you've seen